So good morning again. Indeed, we're going to talk about conversion marketing. And basically, conversion marketing is optimizing your website, whatever it takes to get more conversions. And we believe that SEO, while you optimize for SEO, you can also optimize in order to get more conversions. We're going to give the presentation with two people. My colleague Steve de Veirman is actually is a business development manager, but also he has a lot of experience, in web analytics, and analyzing this data is also used to optimize the SEO process. So, a little agenda for this presentation. We just first going to introduce conversion marketing, what it is, what the advantages are, and how you can use it and apply it in your own process. And then I'm going to explain some basic tips and a kind of plan with some steps how to apply SEO into a conversion marketing process. And then we'll give you some regular tips, and then there is some more space for a Q&A. So I'm going to give the mic to you, Steve, to explain about a little more about conversion marketing.
Perfect. Thank you, Marnik. I think if I should ask the question, what could be the definition of conversion marketing? I'm afraid we would get more than 20 different types of definitions. Because conversion marketing is really hot today. It's always used in different contexts, like email marketing, remarketing, and all the topics that will be on the agenda later today. What we try to do is just to hammer it down, like it is a sort of refocusing of your actual already existing online marketing. So all the things that you are doing now, you should refocus it in direction of one purpose, namely conversions, or all the, let's say, action that you can do on your website. What I would like to express here on this side is that optimizing your website and online marketing campaigns is something that we do already for several years. You also in all your companies. There's just one focus that is added past year, let's say, and that's the focus on the target. And which targets can be interesting to focus on in your conversion marketing processes is a bit as I expressed in this slide, in this picture. I've got the expression very often that till, let's say, 2008, in our online marketing experiences, we were just running and trying to get as much runners as possible, as much traffic as possible to our website. Maybe call it attraction marketing, or let's say engage as a lot of tools and mediums that are possible to get as many people as possible to your website. What we now try to do in all our projects is get another focus on that, not only focus on the traffic and the positions and all kind of attraction media, but try to focus on the end goal, like the runners here, and try to focus on, for instance, on several business targets like more bookings, more orders. Also, contact forms can be a very interesting issue to focus on. Registrations, of course, logins, members-only zone, voucher kind of campaigns, coupon marketing, that kind of thing. So basically, what we try to have as a label in our definition of conversion marketing is not only focus on traffic and the quantity of people, but try to focus on the end target, on the goal itself, on the quality of the traffic. And of course, that's something that we can obviously do with a lot of tools and also with SEO. Now, why precisely should SEO be a part of that kind of process on your online marketing activities nowadays? Because SEO, of course, has the possibility, through the Google search network and other search networks, to get traffic and to get the messaging to your public. Not only the position is important, but also the description, the communication that you offer in that search and the result page. So what I say here is that the communication for your website, for your company, starts not on your website homepage, but starts on the SERP, on the search engine result page. There you should do necessary efforts to attract the right people, to attract the right target group to your website, with a call to action in the text, with a nice description, with a nice Google map integration, and that kind of thing. SEO is quite a big process. That's something we all know here, I think. It can take a while. It can take 8 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. We can get to a lot of difficult technical implementations. But you should not hesitate in doing that, because that time that you're spending on the optimization of the SEO is also an ideal time to spend optimization time on your conversion marketing process in the website. For instance, to monitor your funnels, to monitor your dropout processes, to add some conversion call to action buttons on your homepage. To do the 2 things on the same time. Do not lose any time, be efficient, and try to get the conversion ratio on your website as high as possible. An interesting model that comes out of this kind of way of thinking, because that is what it is. It's thinking on targeting, on focusing on your website, is of course budget and conversion revenue, let's say. And one of the models that we use is, for instance, a model where SEO comes in the picture here, where the start of the budget is quite high. If you see it in a percentage level, you should say that when you start with an SEO conversion optimization, 90% of your budget will go to optimization, to on-page, to copywriting, to that kind of efforts. But really slow, you will see dropping down that curve of budget spend, and see a higher up of leveling out your budget rise. Because there's a very interesting time slot there, the time slot of testing. Because in SEO, also you can really easy do A/B testing, for instance, with different landing pages, with different home pages, for instance, with the Google Website Optimizer, just randomize different targeting, different call to action messaging, and try to lead your SEO traffic to those pages. Just a model to have to have the right picture that conversion marketing is not a process that will end in 1 month. It's a process that is really ongoing, and in a time that you have to see in, let's say, 6 months to 9 months in duration. To get some clearer picture on what should be the actions and what could be the different steps in that kind of process, I will hand over the mic again to Marnik, who will talk to the real application of that SEO technique in that conversion marketing process.
All right, thank you, Steve.
We actually going to talk about 8 steps which you can actually take to get some more conversions into the SEO process. I also would like to stress that those 8 steps is not a magic formula. So you can actually find your own way and your own steps how you can get to more conversions. However, those steps are often used if we apply conversion marketing into the SEO process specifically. So the first one is, in fact, of course, selecting the right keywords, because many people will focus on broad or certain keywords which they think or which they hope to have a good position in Google. But if you would like to have some more conversions, then the right choice of your keywords is of course very important. The second step is actually to group your keywords. I'm going to give some more detailed explanation on every step. The second step is to group your keywords by user intent. So what I mean is, some people are looking for information, and other people are using keywords which are already further into the process of the conversion. The third step is to communicate already in Google on an, let's say, it action-driven way. So if people look into search into Google, the first communication is the search engine result page. So the communication starts already there. And of course, if they click to your website, you should have some compelling content, which you can convince your visitor into more action, which could be clicking or downloading something or convert in something. The fifth step is to create internal links and call to actions, because we see too much websites and too much web pages, landing pages, which give very interesting information, but they do not get the visitor into action. So call to actions is of course also very important. And a sixth step and a seventh step is in fact to create some more trust on your landing pages, and also the conversion process should be user-friendly. So, and the 8th step will be for Steve again, is more about analyzing your data, which might be cliche, but if you want to optimize your SEO process, it's very important that you focus on the right details regarding web analytics. So the first step is selecting the right keywords. And as I said, there are many ways. In Dutch we say there are many ways to Rome. So it's also in the conversion marketing process. But a way is to actually test with Google AdWords. And if you optimize your Google AdWords campaign and see the specific keywords which will give you some conversions, that you actually chose those keywords and optimize them better for SEO, that you have a ranking on this keyword because it will cost you less money in the process. And number 2 is also if you have a position on both the natural rankings and Google AdWords, so that will actually stimulate more the conversion process. And then you can see in your numbers and choose the keywords which have the most conversions. There is no explanation here, but this is actually the number or the amount of conversions per keyword. So you can actually focus on keywords which you started with Google AdWords. It sounds logic, but not many people actually doing it. They still to continue to invest in Google AdWords because they give conversions, and they still to invest in SEO. And most of the people see it as 2 separated ways of optimization. We see it in fact as one complete or one process which is going together. A second way into selecting the right keywords is if you go, for example, to Google, there is a new interface which you probably might noticed already. But then if you, for example, look for search for a keyword, then you can actually click on the More Option button, and then there is what Google calls a wonder wheel. So it's what's so magic about the wonder wheel, that is that it will give you more inside information about keywords, specific keywords where people are looking for. And if you, for example, want to have a ranking on city trip Paris, then of course there are many other words which could be interesting for your business to focus on. For example, hotel Paris, because if someone is looking for a city trip to Paris, he's probably looking also to book a hotel in the process. But maybe not also he's looking, your potential customer is not only looking for a city trip in Paris, he's probably looking for another combination of a keyword, and maybe he's typing a weekend to Paris. So the wonder wheel will give you some more information about broad keywords, specific keywords where people are actually looking for. And then on every option you can actually click through, and then you see, for example, we clicked on weekend Paris, and then you have some more keywords which are related to weekend Paris. And the very interesting thing is that you actually get inspired in terms of which keywords to choose, and you can actually pick those keywords which are fitting best into your activity of your website, and then you can create content on it. So, and the last step is, or the last step in the first step by selecting the right keywords is that there is a lot have been told about long tails, and what we see is that long tails are actually doing it very well. They are the very good keywords that convert, but big keywords will bring you the most of the conversions. And also here, some people are actually focusing on the broad keywords, or they're focusing on the long tails. What we actually advise is to make a very good combination, to do some very good research for keywords, and make a good combination of both, so that on that way you will actually reach the best way for the most conversions. And if you actually have selected your keywords, then you can see it as a cloud, because if someone is looking for city trip Paris, they're also looking for a cheap city trip to Paris, or a promotion city trip to Paris, or a romantic city trip to Paris. And then you have a cloud of keywords, and it's very important that you actually combine this cloud, and then we actually go to the second step, because you need to group your keywords. And what do we mean with group your keywords? For example, bungalow park. Suppose you have a bungalow park, or you work for a bungalow park, then there are many keywords which are possible to focus on and to optimize. But as I said, it's important to group your keywords. I'm going to give you two examples. If someone is looking for a bungalow park, he could looking for a specific region, the Belgian coast, the Ardennes, or maybe in Holland. Or he can have an intention. With an intention, we mean he could actually look for luxury within the bungalow parks, or he's actually looking for cheap or affordable bungalow parks. Whatever it is, it's very important that you actually group your keywords, because the better your keywords are mapped, the better you can guide actually your visitors to become a customer. And later we also see if you group your keywords, then you can actually, if you write some content, and in fact that's the intention, if you map your keywords, then it's much easier to focus on specific landing pages and to create compelling content, and to put all the mapped keywords together in one page. So that way you also will reach more positions on more different and more specific keywords. It takes some time, but we see that it will save you time afterwards, and it will give you much more positions or much more conversions later on also. And another thing is also, if you group your keywords, you can also group your content that you write. For example, you can actually write some pure informational content to inform about the bungalow park, what you can do into the bungalow park, that there are woods, that there is some space for kids, that there is a swimming pool, and whatever it is. So you can actually give a lot of information. So you can actually write your informational pages and optimize them to be found in Google. And you can also actually group your keywords which are more transactional. For example, online bungalow park booking, or online booking for bungalow park, or something like that. So you can actually group those keywords and write specific content for every separated group of keywords. So I also said that, and this is the third step, that if you actually selected your keywords and you go into the process of optimizing for more conversions, the communication already starts into Google. And it sounds logic, but many people are actually focusing on a specific position, and if they actually gained the position, then they are happy, because, okay, when a lot of people are looking for this keyword, then you will attract many visitors, which is true. However, in a split second, people are actually scanning the Google result page, and they're clicking on the natural rankings or the Google AdWords. But anyway, you should actually also focus on how to communicate, and use, for example, also your unique selling proposition from your company, or the way how your company communicates on the website, on a banner, and in emailing, or also offline. You can actually use those words into your communication, because then you have one line into your communication, and also in the Google communication. And secondly, for example here, hosting or web hosting and domain names. This one is, for example, not the cheapest one, but they give a very good service. And this service is also based because they work for web builders, and some of the web builders, I know those IT geeks, sometimes work at night, and they sometimes need some support at night. So they actually mention this service or the USPs or the company communication already and the title and the description, which is actually also viewable into the result pages. This is very important because if you use words like book here, download here, or maybe you have a free white paper, all those words you can actually use into your title and description, and it also is the first step into the conversion marketing process. And then when your visitors clicked on your position in Google and they arrive on your website, then of course it's important to have compelling content. And with compelling content, I mean that it's exactly the same from the keyword, and that it's also convincing your visitors into action. Whatever this action is, the first action could be to click on a button or to click on a link to go to a next page or whatever it is. But it's very important that you create compelling content and that you actually make sure that this is optimized for the positions in Google also. Number 4 and number 5, or step 4 and 5, is more or less the same. It's not only about, as we said, getting the position, but also to make sure that you have very good quality landing pages and creating compelling content which convince your visitors into more action. But you also can create, it's also important to have internal links or call to actions on your site. For example, in this case, he wants to have also more fans from his company fan page on Facebook, because he communicates well into this Facebook fan page. So this could be a very small first step into the conversion process to get fans. And every website or every landing page should have the right specific details which gets your visitors into more action. For example, also sometimes it's into the very small details. If you optimized a website, for example, it's a Dutch keyword, termijnrekening in Google, then also the call to action is actually very specific. Open a termijnrekening here, because before it used to be open a bank account, just a regular word, but it's going to bring you much more conversions if you communicate very specifically through your keywords also on your landing pages. Even informational pages, you can actually create informational pages and then subtle to bring a, how can I say, to bring or to mix a little, looking for the words, but to bring or to create a kind of some words. Yeah, sorry, I can't find the word, sorry. A sixth step or a next step is also to create some trust on your landing pages. It depends, of course, what the offer is on your landing page or on your website, but the offer only will not bring you enough conversions. It's important that you create the right trust, and everybody knows his own website or his own company or his own customers best, so you can actually create trust with the right type of communications. For example, you can actually create trust also with if you offer safe online payment. We still see many websites, many e-commerce websites, which actually work with Ogoni or another trustable online payment platform. However, putting the right logos on your website is creating trust from the beginning. Also, if you have, for example, reviews from happy customers, many people put them on a separated page, but it's very good that you also mix your reviews into the content, into the website. Or if you give a guarantee, we often see that companies will give a guarantee in order for service or delivery or whatever it is, but they only put this guarantee explanation into the conversion process. So it's actually too late. You should actually put your guarantees or your reviews or your logos within your content through the website. So whatever it takes, you can actually give some trust or create some trust on your landing pages by the right communication. And also in the conversion process also, what we see is if you, sometimes if you want to buy a product or to order online, you first need to register. And then you do a registration, you get an email, and then you need to confirm on a link which you received through the email, and then you have to go to the website again, and then finalize your ordering or your booking. So the best thing you can do is, in fact, have one-step checkout and register while you do the order process. And also the trustable communication. Why not put your reviews into your ordering pages? Because sometimes there is a funnel, and if your order process exists from 3, maybe 4 or 5 steps, but even 3 steps, then there are still people who actually fall out or drop out into this process. And the more trust you create in order of good delivery, reviews, specific logos or a guarantee you give, and you actually put this communication also on your ordering pages, that will make sure that your people, that the percentage of people who actually do the booking or do the ordering will be much more higher. And the next step, or a possible last step, can also be that you actually analyze the data from Google Analytics. And most of the people are actually looking for how many visitors do I have? Do I have more visitors than I had last month? Or do we have in May more visitors than May 2009? But you can actually analyze more specifically and more deeper into the data. And voila, Steve is going to explain you.
I agree totally what Marnik says. Of course, you should dive into the data, not only to report the standards and the corporate KPIs, but try to find actionable trends, actionable conversion percentage, and also do the comparison with your other campaigns. We like to start, for instance, with a sort of CPA calculator model, where we just compare SEO conversion ratios to SEA conversion ratios, to the trade tracker, trade doubler, affiliation conversion ratios, to the mail conversion ratios. Try to get everything into Google Analytics or the tool that you are using to just have a sort of CPA, cost per acquisition or cost per conversion model to compare. The model that we use for that kind of reporting is an Arbus reporting, like we call it, where we report to the customers the conversion process in a few steps. First starting with the attraction, of course. Which keyword groups, which keyword clusters. The thing that Marnik also explained to you, to map your keywords, to cluster your keywords. Also there, Google Analytics offers you a really great opportunity to create advanced segments, where you just group those keywords together, and you can lay over that kind of segment on your reporting just to see which keyword cluster is doing the best conversion or the best traffic building to your website. So you can really experiment great things with the new features in Google Analytics, for instance. So attraction is number one. Retention is also a very interesting topic to review. For instance, what is bounce rate, what is time on site, the typical quality parameters, the QSF, the quantitative success factors on your website or on your landing page. Also behavior, of course. It's not only about landing and attracting, it's also on the level of converting into more pages, into longer time on site, into clicking on a download, clicking on a PDF, browsing through your folder online, checking the video through event tracking, for instance, trying to find out how many people watch your video for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Try to get your behavior analytics as far as deep as possible. Also usability comes in on the right spot. Site overlay reporting, but also heat mapping tools can help you just getting a picture on how your SEO prospect or your SEO visitor really interacts with your landing page, with your website. Don't hesitate in trying to find out actual behavior analytics in kind of site mapping tools like eye tracker, attention wizard, and that kind of things, which really help you in finding out the eye movement of your visitors. Also, stickiness is a really important campaign or let's say reporting cluster. Just to try to find out the returning capacity of your public. Also to watch if your SEO cluster keywords, for instance, attract new visitors or existing visitors, for instance. Because then you could also decide that you've chosen the wrong keyword cluster. If you just attract people that already have visited your website for many times, you could change also their conversion opportunities. If you can focus on other conversion opportunities. And finally, of course, conversion itself. Did they click? Did they book? Did they buy? Did they register for your newsletter? Did they click on your Facebook fan page, your I like button, your Facebook open graph tool, and that kind of reporting? So don't stay on the surface, but dive in. It's my advice always. Which keywords did visitors brought in? Which are the non-converting keywords comparing to the converting keywords? Is branded converting better than non-branded? Is branded keywording converting first and non-branded keywords convert later in that stadium? The funnels, don't forget also implementing your funnel reporting in Google Analytics and trying to find out what is the dropout percentage where Marnik spoke about. And do not stop optimizing. It's not an end process. It's not spending a few steps or getting through a few steps and then just rest and watch what happens on your website. It just continue into changing things, getting higher positions, more visitors, more conversions, changing logos, changing colors, changing buttons, adding new call to action buttons, changing the testimonial, trying to get another testimonial in a certain place on your conversion process, just to find out what is the best conversion opportunity. You know there are a lot of tools that can help you, for instance the Google Website Optimizer, into A/B testing or multivariate testing of that kind of landing page issues. A few examples I would really like to share with you. For instance, evaluate or analyze the most valuable non-branded keyword for your business. In this case, talking about a small e-commerce shop. Not only, let's say, ranking your keywords on traffic level, but also on value, on e-commerce revenue, can be a very interesting focus, because it will give you another order than just ordering or ranking it on traffic. And it will help you to have more insight in which keyword do I have to put most of effort in, to put it higher in the rankings, to make more content, to optimize more in my website. Another example, of course, is if you do some changes, if you have a process ongoing and you have changed descriptions, titles in your CMS system, do not hesitate in following it up, in trying to find the reaction of your visitors on that adaptations. This is, for instance, an example of a quite standard Google Analytics report, but that shows a very interesting increase of conversion after a process that we run in several booking stages, or several goal stages in the website, like the online sign-in, on several target groups, several segments on your website, and they all increased the conversion after SEO targeted optimization. Another thing that could be also very interesting is again, diving in your e-commerce reporting, but not only on traffic level or on SEO keyword level, but try to get the picture on your product level. Which is my product that brings me the most margin, the most revenue, and which keyword brought that product or bought, let's say, engaged most people to buy that product. And it could give you also very interesting ideas to, for instance, do some cross-sell or put that product in a picture with an extra discount, with an extra promotion of the month slogan on your homepage, because that was the product, for instance, that gave you the most margin, the most revenue in the previous month. So try to find a dynamic way of analyzing this kind of reporting and putting it back on your website and trying to build up your margin and your revenue figures. That were only a few tips, but I'm certain that Marnik will give you some more.
Actually, to finalize the presentation, some more small tips. we were talking about keywords, and that actually people focusing on or long tails because they think they are the most or the best converting keywords, which is true. And other people are actually looking for the broad keywords, the brand names or the product names or something. And what we advise is to focus on all three the levels, not only on broad keywords, for example, logistics, but also on the 2 or the 3 word keyword phrases like logistic management or logistic management software or whatever the keyword might be. So a good combination of broad keywords, long tails, and 2 or 3 keywords to map them is the best way to reach some more conversions. Also on the keywords, maybe it's a small repetition of that what we said before, but if you have mapped your keywords, remember from the bungalow park, and then there is an intention or there is a region that people can choose, and then you can actually map your keywords. And the reason for this is that if you want to build a page on one keyword, on one broad keyword, for example, logistics, that will be very hard to get a position with. And if you don't have the position in SEO, then you of course don't attract the visitors. And if you don't attract the visitors, then there is no potential for them to convert. So the smart way here is to group your keywords in user intention, but also to write content which is based on those clusters. And that way you will actually reach more positions on several keywords, and of course one web page will attract that way more, the amount of visitors will be much more higher. Maybe a third tip is also the way you communicate into your search engine result pages, the title and description you actually subscribed should be as much as possible the same as on your landing pages. It's in Dutch here, but it's what it says is when an exclusive weekend to Paris. So this is actually really attracting people. If they, for example, looking for the keyword weekend to Paris, that's attracting people into Google. When they click on it, then of course there should be no informational page about a weekend to Paris. There should be no promotion for a weekend to Paris, of course. You should be communicating on your landing page exactly the same message than on your Google result page. So if you match those two together, then of course you will have more conversions.
I just have a question about this communication in the search results. I always thought that it was part of the meta description, but I've also read that sometimes Google will choose other content on your page that more matches search queries. So which one is it? Do you actually have control over this?
You do have control, maybe not 100%, but you do have control. So if you, in your meta tags, describe a good description, then Google will take this description as the 2 lines of explanation here. So you do have control, and if you do have control, you can actually put some keywords in it, and also communicate on the way you would like to attract people as a step 1, and as a step 2, the way how you communicate on your landing page. Is this an answer on your question?
Yes, but so it's no guarantee.
It's not. Well, it's not 100% a guarantee. It might be possible that Google actually takes some communication out of your content from your landing page and use it here. But more often he will actually, if you have a good description and also the keywords is actually mentioned in the description, then more than likely he will take those 2 lines. And the last tip, it's maybe a small tip, but it's a very nice tip. It's a small tool which you can actually rehearse, if you like, for writing a title and writing a description. So, for example, here, it's a tool, and I have to think the URL will be www.mofo or SEOmofo.com. So it's a small keyword snippet tool where you can actually rehearse from how will my title look like and how will my description look like. So if you put some words here, you still can use it, and then you see the end result here. So you can actually play a little with it and put another keyword more in front of your title or more in the middle. Remember that we said that your communication in the Google search and result pages should be attractive using the USP, and what you here can do also is you can see the characters. So what you also see here, on a sudden moment, you see that Google actually ends your two sentences and actually start to use the dots. So you can actually play with it, and it's purely based on communication. And then you can actually write an attractive title and write an attractive description and play with the combination of keywords at the same time. So for the URL, it's again, it's SEO Mofo. You can see it here, SEO Mofo. I think it's .com or .net.